Yes, boxing fans, welcome back to KangBros TV. Just a quick preview on the USYK CHISORA fight. Obviously, it's been a little while on the boxing front, but what a way to get back into the swing of things. I say what a way to get back into the swing of things. I do believe that this is this is my opinion. I think this is a bit of a I think it's a bit of a mismatch, one-sided affair, but it will be entertaining. That's what I think. I think USYK wins this fight quite comfortably from my personal perspective, but I would love it if CHISORA banged him. I would love nothing more. But I think USYK wins this fight.
So yeah, everyone's asked our prediction for this fight, and it looks like I'm agreeing with Junior as well. I see USYK winning on points with this. He's too classy for this guy. I just don't see how CHISORA's going to dance with this guy. You're going to have to be able to move around the goddamn ring to beat this guy. And apparently, obviously, CHISORA, with his new corner, whatnot, has worked on this. I don't want CHISORA to win. You said about you wanting him to win, you'd love nothing more. I'm not a fan of CHISORA. I've made this clear for a long time. I think he's a gatekeeper, a good gatekeeper. I wouldn't say he's like a shambles gatekeeper, but for me, CHISORA winning does nothing for me moving forward. So I want to see USYK. But what I'm more intrigued to see is how he gets on, because this is a true test of the heavyweight division. Now he beat, was it Witherspoon? He beat. That wasn't for me. It wasn't like, oh yeah, okay, he's ready for this division.
And I'm not here to put any disrespect on Witherspoon, by the way, because obviously,
that's what I'm saying.
If you look at his record, he's had a lot of fights and not very many defeats. But if you look at the most reputable names on his resume, I think it's Tony the Tiger, and he lost to Tony the Tiger. That was the biggest name that I could pick up from back then, and that for me was a very, very hand-picked fight for USYK, which is fair enough, which is not a problem. I understand it. But I think for me and you are slightly different in the sense that I think I watched an interview earlier with Peter Fury, and he said, this is going to be a very interesting fight because this isn't going to be won or lost on knockouts and bangs. It's footwork. He goes, footwork wins this fight. And he goes, and I thought to myself, that's just a good, because I think the other point he went on to make was the same thing that happened to Bellew. Is the thing about CHISORA in this fight is that yes, there's no doubt that CHISORA bangs. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that CHISORA can take a bang. Yeah, again, those things are not doubted. Everyone keeps saying about USYK's punch power. Yeah, about punch power. He knocked Bellew out at cruiserweight, but he didn't bang him out. He didn't blitz him out. But the footwork was just too much, and it's so hard to keep that away. And sometimes you don't need to hit someone. You don't need to like plaque someone to knock him out. When you wear somebody down as much as he did, even for Bellew, it was, yes, he caught him some clean shots, but they weren't mega heavyweight hits. They were just angles and angles and angles, and it just, after a while, it's going to wear somebody down. I've got a feeling this is going to be a bit like Fury CHISORA 2, where Fury put on a masterclass and he knew he had to win that fight comfortably and impress people, and he did. And I believe this will be the same thing. I'm so happy for Derek CHISORA that he's got himself into great shape. David Hay and the team have got him into brilliant shape, which I think is great. I did see something earlier that he's the heaviest he's been in his career. So, but obviously it's in the right way. Great. And it's good for him. But bit like what Senior said is, how has it taken you this long to realise that's what you need to do in your career?
He's and I agree with you as well. He's looking good in this fight, in shape wise. So hats off to you to be getting your head down and really focus on him. But what I rate about Derek is that he can sell a fight. I don't care what anyone says. He can sell a fight. He does wacky shit, dumb shit. But like, obviously, I don't know the guy personally. So people who know him personally may see a different Derek to what we see as fans. But he can sell a fight. He did it, improved it with Dylan White and all this kind of stuff. He came in from the weigh-in. I love the way he just came in with that whole fucking Halloween shit going on. It's jokes. But if we talk about the fight itself, I just do not see how. Obviously, the only way he's going to be able to do it is land that big punch. And that's what he's going to be aiming to do. And that's why he's coming so heavy.
The big overhand.
And I don't know. I mean, from what my understanding is, USYK can take a bang, but I don't know if he can take licks from heavyweights. He must have been sparring with heavyweights.
Well, he's got to think his amateur career and the stuff he fought. What's his name? Joe Joyce, and he's fought with heavyweights his whole life. So listen, it's not like it's going to be, it's going to be like new to him. But the only thing I will say is taking a bang off of a CHISORA is going to be different to taking a bang from Bellew. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't rate Chisora's power to that kind of level. Like he can bang. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid heavyweight banger, but he's not the heaviest hitting heavyweight. So that's my counter argument to that. He's not the biggest hitter in heavyweight division. You see the fight that he had with Dylan White. They were literally licking shots off each other. He weren't dropping. Of course, Dylan White can take a bang as well. So. That's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna obviously he's gonna try and wear it down.
For you, is this an interesting fight? Does it intrigue you?
That's what I'm saying. The only reason it intrigues me is because I want to see how USYK gets on, because I want to see what he gets on further. Now, hopefully, USYK is not looking in the same mentality that I am and looking beyond this fight. Because for me, I just want to see how he gets on against a proper heavyweight. And as I said, a good gatekeeper, because that's all it is. Let's not get twisted. And that's why I rate Chisora, is because he builds this hype up, and people begin to think that Chisora is going to go on to the next level. And I don't think he will. This is his level. And if he proves me wrong, I'll be the first to, in the reaction video, to say, look, you know what, Chisora has done his thing. But he just... Can you
see him winning in any way?
No.
You can't see him. So you don't see him stopping him, knocking him out.
It's heavyweight boxing, so you never know about the knockout, right? We've seen it with Dylan
But you're
White.
saying you just don't see it.
I don't see it. No, okay. I don't see it.
So I'm different. I'm different. As much as I think I have an outcome in my head that I think will happen in this fight. I actually think it might be a stoppage in the 9th, 8th or 9th, to be a stoppage, because I don't think Chisora is going to be able to continually take the beating.
Chisora is not a quitter like that.
No, I'm not saying he's going to quit. I'm thinking he's going to get stopped.
Okay,
yeah. I'm not saying he's going to quit. I don't think he'll ever quit. I think he could be discombobulated and he'll still get up and keep coming. I don't think that's the case. But I just think there's going to come a point the ref's going to go, I don't think we can see much more of this. That's how I think it's going to be. That's what I see it coming, because he's not going to be on the back foot and throw out a jab and see if he can work by a jab. He won't be doing that. Everyone keeps talking about trying to get on his chest. He needs to fight off of USYK's chest. Now that in itself is going to be a bit of a myth, because these boys, these U6 and these Lomas, that's what they're known for. Is their cat. He's known as the cat because he's going to be evasive and slip and stuff like that. So I think this is something new for Chisora, because he's not going to go into the ring with somebody who's going to go toe to toe with him. That's just not going to happen. He wants that, but Chisora doesn't know anything else, so he has to go and try and put this guy to sleep, which will play into USYK's hands. So, but like I said, for me, I'm not sitting here saying I just can't see it whatsoever. I do think that there may come a point that Chisora throws some of those shots. You've seen him knock people out in the past when he's losing the fight. And he's banged someone over the top, and it's like, whoa, Takan. Do you know what I mean? It's a prime example. So he obviously has the ability to rock somebody, and I would like to see USYK up against someone like this, because it is an interesting fight, like you say, moving forward. But unfortunately, I think for Derek Chisora, it's a shame that the pennies dropped so late in his career, and that's disappointing, because he's made a lot of noise in the past, and he's obviously quite an he's like it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? He's a fine wine, in a sense that he's getting better with age, physique-wise, but he's also a Marmite, because you either love him or you fucking hate him.
I think under that. But is this a box office? Is this a box office fight?
I think at the moment it is, because I think people are so starving for good.
That's a fair shot.
If you're telling me Burnley versus fucking Palace is $14.95, then I'm pretty sure people are going to pay for this.
That's a good point.
But the other thing is, if you look at it like Loma. And Loma's fight last week, obviously that is something we will discuss in a reaction video. Don't worry. But if you look at that fight, these fights that are happening, this is up there, isn't it? If you're throwing names out there, this is up there. It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Lomachenko's an absolute fucking don, and to be fair, Lopez is now up there as well. But I'm talking both names. You look at and say, oh yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, but then you got Gervonta Davis and them fighting on Channel 5, cuz.
Yeah, but again, then it comes to a point. Then there's the flip side is, all these names now, people aren't fighting. So it's like, well, there's no crowd. So let's just get in the ring and fight, because there's no crowd. We haven't got to worry about that. Purses are purses. Everyone's taking a hit. So now it is just a true boxers fighting, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think you hit it down the head. There's two things, right? It's obviously the starvation of boxing, and we just want to see a fight. And it is an interesting fight. Like I said, if you are Team Chisora, all this like war Chisoras, listen, come on now. Just if you're Team Chisora or your Team USYK, you want to see what happens. So I'm not missing it. I'm sure all the boxing fans will be watching it, intrigued to see what happens. And like you said, a heavyweight fight is always interesting. So we'll see how it goes. And from the KangBros, I mean, we're going for both USYK on this one. Let us know who you're predicting to win this fight, and does anyone really see Chisora? I
will be cheering for Del Boy. I will be cheering for Del Boy, but I just can't see it personally. Like I said, I can. Usyk for me, if I'm being rational, he's going to win this fight pretty comfortably. But as a fan, as a Brit, I would like to see CHISORA win this fight.
So let us know your prediction on the fight, and then we will catch you in the reaction video.
And there's a few things we're going to discuss in there: the Loma fight, the heavyweights, what's going on in the heavyweight situation, Kell Brook and his little beef with Eddie Hearn, all that situation there, and Belly. All of a sudden, he seems to be a matchroom cheerleader, which is very weird. But loads of things to discuss in the reaction video. So let us know your thoughts and predictions on this fight, and make sure you absolutely tune into the reaction because we'll be covering a lot of different points on there.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Peace.